Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial on the campaign builder. We've introduced 10 new features that I thought would be best if we just ran through them in a quick and easy to follow video. If you need more information on what I've gone through, just contact support and we'll be able to kind of run you through it in more detail. There is quite a lot to get through, so I'm gonna crack on and I'm gonna try and go through it as quick as possible. So to start off with, we have one new content item in videos, and we have 4 new structures. So we have kind of a 1x3 and a 3x1 and a 2x1, etc. And these just give you a little bit more diversity in filling out your newsletters. So let's drag one across and see kind of what it would look like. Okay, so it's about 1/4 to 3/4, and then with the content we have a new content item called video. Video essentially allows you to embed a video, so whether it is Vimeo or a YouTube video. I'm just going to my YouTube page here and just copying the URL for the Mailblaze advert that we had. So I'll go onto this content item and I will paste in that video link. So what happens is as soon as I paste it in, it goes and gets a screenshot for that video and creates kind of a static image that is embedded into the campaign. So when it arrives in Gmail or your email client, it won't necessarily play the video, but if a user clicks on it, it will take you through to where that video is hosted. So just to add to that content structure, let's maybe just put in some text there, and we can just leave it for default text. And then let's do a little preview. I'll send it to my email account. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to go through these emails on my phone. So this is just a screenshot of my phone. Okay, and that is, there we go. There's an example of the video. I think that is possibly even an older one. But here, if you click on the image now and that link, it will take you into YouTube and then it will play that video. So that is how that works. Okay, the next section is something called stacking, which has been requested by a few of you. Now, when the email gets through on mobile, what you'll see is that what happens typically is that you have kind of your content stacked or put one under another. And this is obviously very nice on mobile and it's responsive in that, but there might be a case where you actually want to have it side by side, so you don't want it to stack like this. So you can turn it off, and we've created this functionality. So you'll see here, this is an example of where it isn't stacked, and it kind of keeps its original design as you can see here. So how do we do this? Let's go back in quickly, and then we go to the structure, and then at the bottom here there's an option to say do not stack columns on mobile. So if this is unchecked, for example, and then we go in and we just preview this on mobile, you'll see it appears one after the other. And let's go back and just switch this on. So do not stack columns on mobile. And if we test this, what you'll see is it's side by side. This doesn't give you a great idea of what it will render like on mobile, just gives you a rough sort of idea. But as you can see, it will look something like this, as opposed to stacking one under the other. Okay, so that is stacking. Now on the left hand panel we have a couple of new icons that you might want to just get familiar with. Let me just move my face out of the way here. So if you hover over, before it could have been confusing to know what is structure and what is content. Obviously they serve different purposes when creating a campaign. So if we have a look at the structure, it's what we refer to as the columns. So you can have one single row or two columns side by side, etc. So you've got a little plus here which you can just quickly add structure. So these will give you the options, and you can quickly select one, and then that structure will appear under the item that you click the plus from. And again, same story here. So delete that. Okay, and then the green, which refers to as content, it's the same story. You can click on the plus, and then it will give you options to insert content. So here we can put a divider. We can change the color of that divider. But it's just kind of a quick link to creating new content. So it's nice also to know what's in green is content, what's in blue is structure, just to give you a little bit more clarity on what you're hovering over. So let's delete that. Okay, and then we've got something called max width. So a few of you have asked for this, where typically it is a very good idea to keep the width of your mailer to 600 pixels wide. It's most user-friendly for email clients and for your mobile email clients as well, and rendering. So sometimes you might want to have a campaign that renders larger or renders smaller even. So we've given you the option here. So you can go into the global settings, which is just this tab here, and then using the slider you can increase the width. So let's just double it up and have a look at what that will, or how that will render. Okay, so that's an example of 1028 pixels wide, and immediately you can see kind of the end result of that. And I'm not going to send a mail to myself, but essentially you can get a feel for what it would look like in Gmail here. Okay. Right, I really do recommend keeping it at 600. I think it's really best practice, and you'll probably find that most email clients are optimized for that. So please only use this if you really have a need to, and it's there's no other way to achieve your kind of layout. All right, then with the buttons, so we've got a few more options on the buttons, which is quite nice. So you can actually change that border radius. You can round it more. As you can see, as I keep going, the corners get more and more rounded, which is nice. And then you can obviously go full width. I think that was there before. And then under more options, you've actually got this inner padding. So what this means is you can actually change padding top, bottom, left, right independently of each other. So it just gives you the option to customize those buttons a little bit more. Okay, and you just need to click on the content itself, and then you'll kind of get all these functions for the buttons itself. Great. Let me just undo that for now, just so it looks consistent. Okay, and then we have underline. So what sometimes happens is when you add a link, so sorry, I'm rushing through this a bit. We go on to copy item, the WYSIWYG editor will appear, and then we can select some text, click the link, type in the link. What will happen is you see it kind of creates an underline for that copy. That hasn't kind of been met with great approval by everyone, so there has been a request to just be able to remove that. So simply you can actually do that within the WYSIWYG editor rather than editing the source, which is what you would have had to do previously and fiddling around with the source. You can actually just click on that link And then at the bottom of this pop-up dialog, you can click remove underline styling. Click OK. Now you can see it's gone. And what that does is just it adds a bit of code into the source just to make sure that the underline is not there. So we can preview that. Let me send a test to myself again. Okay. Onto my phone here. So there you can see the link is over there, and it is not underlined. Okay. Cool. Okay, so this takes us into the image editor. We've done away with the old image editor. We've replaced it with a new and improved image editor. So in case you don't want to go into Photoshop or the image editor of your choice, there's functionality where you can quickly create tints, you can crop your image, you can do a variety of quite powerful things with this image editor. So I'm just going to show you how to get to it. You click on the image that you want to edit it. Normally what you do is you click choose image to go to your media library and choose from a different picture, but you can just click on edit image. This will bring a pop-up with a bunch of tools at the bottom where you can manipulate this image. So just to give you an example, here I'll go to the settings, I can create some noise on this image. I think it's very good. So let's do something else. Let's go make it maybe a bit overexposed. Let's put a multiply on it. You can do things like crop, you can flip horizontally and vertically, you can rotate the image, you can add text, yeah, you can have even a mask image, which is very interesting, and obviously draw over the image. I'm not going to go through all of the functionality in the image editor because it is quite comprehensive. If you do want more information on it, then just give us a shout and we can take you through that. Okay, but for now, let's just leave it at this. If I wanted to save this, it's going to do two things. One, it's going to replace the existing image with that one that you've just edited. And then what it will also do is it will just put that image in the Mailblaze edits directory in your media library. So here we can see Mailblaze edits, and if we scroll down, we can see that image that we've used. Okay, let's reverse it back to the old one. So we don't need to see that for now. So yeah, that's the image editor. Very powerful and much better than the last one, I think. Okay, another piece of functionality that we've introduced is multiple image upload. It was working beforehand, just the refreshing of the media library didn't work exactly as we would have liked it to. So we've just updated that functionality. Okay, so let's go into the media library. Just move me out the way here. Okay, and then let's create a folder. For the sake of example, we'll call it guitars. We go into that folder, and now what we can do is when we click on upload, we can actually upload multiple assets. Okay, how we do that? Go into our media folder, and then we can select images, multiple images, and then just click open. What will do, it will kind of spin, upload, and then kind of upload them all at the same time and put them in that folder. The other thing that we've done is we've retained the media library state. And what that means is if I close the media library and then again I click to open it, it will stay in the same directory. That's useful when you have multiple directories and you are in the same directory and just would like to keep using images out of that directory. You don't have to navigate to that directory every time. So yes, there's multiple image uploading and the state stays the same. Okay, and then the final thing is something called Fluid on Mobile. So what happens now is that when an image renders onto a mobile device, the images take up the full width of the mobile device. So that's great because obviously it makes if images are slightly small, it's kind of keeps all the images consistent in a column. But what might happen is something like your logo, you might actually want that to be slightly smaller or to be the original size you intended it to be. So you can turn off that fluid on mobile. So by default, they're all fluid on mobile. So let's go to let's go to this logo and just see what it would look like if we selected fluid on mobile. So we just go to preview. Okay, and then you can see there the logo at the top would just take up the full width of the campaign. Okay, and we're just going to send it to myself just to give you a side-by-side comparison. So we take off fluid on mobile, and then we go back to have a preview. We can see here that it kind of retains its size. So again, I'll send this to myself just so we can see what it looks like on mobile. Okay, so that's the example of when fluid on mobile is turned on. So again, the image occupies the full width of the screen, and then when fluid on mobile is turned off, it doesn't occupy the full width. So obviously that in that instance, it looks a lot better like this, I think. Great. So that's all the functionality that we've changed thus far. If there is other functionality that you would like to see, please contact us. Let us know. We're always trying to make it better for you, and we're always trying to hear out what your gripes are and where we can kind of change the builder to suit your requirements. So please let us know if there is anything that you want to change, or if there is something that you would like us to maybe talk a little bit more in more detail about. Let us know as well, and we can maybe do another video or talk you through that privately. Okay guys, thanks a lot, and yeah, enjoy the new functionality.